had a bad dream.
Sammy, did you do this?
The Sandman did it himself. Before he came to my room.
There's no sign of forced entry. Sure all the doors and windows are locked?
I'm sure. We check them every night.
Karen says you guys had to call the police. Is everything all right at home?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've done this.
It has been a really long time, my friend.
You know, since we've done that midnight movie madness. Yeah, man. Well, midnight movie madness makes you kind of crazy in the head. You don't get out till 2 in the morning.
No shit, especially after you see some crazy shit like we do. You can't help but feel a bit confused and shocked and awe.
know.
Like, God damn it, I could have been drinking this whole time.
I know, man.
Watching this shit.
Could have been doing something with my life, like getting drunk.
Yeah, doing something constructive.
Yeah.
Something that can benefit the future of mankind.
Could have been exercising, man. You know, lifting that can up to my mouth and putting it back down.
Exercise, keeping me away from mankind so they can live in peace.
Yeah, we were going to movies at 10, but they pushed this one to midnight.
They fucking did the old switcheroony on us. Like, we were originally supposed to go at 10, and then we show up, and they're like, yeah, you guys waiting for that movie at 10 o'clock? Ain't happening.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, no shit.
See you at midnight.
Yeah, see you at midnight, bitch.
Okay. You say so. But sometimes midnight, in the midnight hour, man, that's the witching hour.
It is.
Sometimes that's when it's great to go see the spooky movies.
Oh, yeah, the spooktacular.
Spooktacular savings.
I wish they had a spooktacular savings deal.
I know.
So, I was like, you got to charge me fucking full price at a midnight movie that, hey,
I know.
Man, it's midnight. Come on.
Hey,
Cut me some
midnight.
slack.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, spooktacular saved my time,
Yeah,
man.
shit.
I mean, what we saw tonight, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not going to say that it was a good movie, but I'm not going to say it was totally devoid of what it was trying to do as far as creeping people out.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it did do that to the people who are looking for that. I think definitely seasoned veterans like we are, where we see this shit constantly over and over again.
I know.
It is hard to try to tell somebody who's like just really getting excited about a movie like this, just something to see at midnight, and go, hey, come on, man, you've seen it before. Because usually when we tell that to people, it doesn't matter.
No.
People still drive out in droves to see this shit, and I can't blame them. It's
Yeah.
another haunted house movie. I mean,
That's what it is. Yeah, see, we're the assholes in the theater when everybody in there's like, ooh, you and I like,
yeah.
yawn.
It's like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Come on, God, really? We just saw this last week.
I will give this movie credit though for now. You say this is a haunted house movie, and it is, and we should stress that because this is not a ghost film. This is not supernatural. This is about aliens.
It is, and it's funny because they're actually telling everybody that it is a supernatural movie. So, I mean, coming in here, I was like thinking, wow, should we really give that away? But then again, I haven't seen the trailers. The trailers probably
people
have shown
know
that. Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
There's a part of the trailer where they walk into a room. There's a big ass, old skinny alien in there. I mean, come on.
Well, at first, just looking at the trailer, I was like, okay, this is from the producers of Paranormal Activity, Insidious, and Sinister. And looking at the trailer, I was like, this looks like just like all those goddamn movies I've already seen,
Well, yeah, because what this movie is about, it's about a family that's pretty much slowly being terrorized by aliens. They don't know what the aliens want, but the aliens are just kind of being assholes, man.
They are.
I mean, they seriously, they're just fucking with this family, man. They come in, and I'm looking at some of the actors that we have here.
You got Kerry Russell, who plays the mother.
The lovely Kerry Russell, who plays the mother.
From what's that show called? Felicity. Yes, I don't know if you remember that show.
It?
Yeah, she was the lead in Felicity. Yeah, it was no Smallville, but hey, it's Felicity. You
look like an alien was trying to say that name.
I was like, what the hell? Because it was so goddamn long ago. I was like, wait, it's not Felicia, is it?
I remember her from the movie. Was it Waitress?
Yeah, that movie. Jeez.
Yeah, I never watched Felicity, but I remember her. That was my first real exposure to her. But she played. That's funny because I looked at her and she just seems so young, and now she's a mom in this with 2 kids. Yeah. Way to hang in with that body, girl. Body's still skinny.
I know. I was like, man, you still got the body of a 13-year-old.
Yeah, she got a 13-year-old son. And guess what? You look just like
No,
him.
I can't tell which one's the kid. Like, who's getting abducted here? What's going on?
If you didn't have long hair,
I know, right? Forget it.
I would think you'd be out there playing basketball with your son right now. But and then you have the dad, played by Josh Hamilton. They're the Barrett family, and these aliens, man, these aliens are just assholes.
No, they are.
Because they're not coming down. See, there's a part in the movie where we have J.K. Simmons, who plays a guy who knows probably why these aliens are here. He can tell you. He's the expert.
Of course.
He's pretty much, he says, yeah, aliens been fucking with me all my whole life, man. I can tell you whatever you want to know.
He's the guy that you see in all the other haunted house movies. He's the guy who has all the information that gets thrown in the movie at the very end of the movie, right before you know when, okay, shit's about to go down because they're introducing the expert.
Yeah, that they always have that guy.
Only for him to tell you some shit is going to go down tonight.
Yeah.
Have you witnessed any abnormal behavior by animals in your neighborhood?
3 different flocks of birds flew into our house the other day.
I would say that qualifies. Have either of you experienced any blackouts, stretches of time that you can't account for? And have you experienced the feeling that you might not be in control of your own body?
How do you know all this?
You are not alone in this.
But he tells them, man, these aliens, nobody knows what they want, but what they gonna do? The thing is, they want something in particular, but before they get it, they're gonna fuck with you a little bit.
Oh yeah,
that's what the aliens do. I mean, first they come down. And they eat all your food in your refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then the next night they come down and take all the cans out the cabinet and make a sculpture out of them.
They're fucking coming down to earth and playing Jenga.
And yeah, they're playing, yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, is it spring break on Planet X somewhere? You know, where these motherfuckers come, they eat your food, they trash your place, they play drunk Jenga.
Yeah.
They go, and then they start painting like dicks on your face and shit.
Yeah, next thing you know. But that's the other thing. And then they make you walk out in the middle of the street in your underwear, give you a nosebleed. They make your kid pee on himself in the middle of the playground.
Yeah.
They start giving you tattoos.
I know. It's like the Jackass crew of aliens down here fucking with your family.
Yeah, they come in with an alien razor and take a plug out your head, you know, leave a big bald spot, draw alien balls on your head.
They're like fucking you when you can't see them because everyone in this movie has an O face, like, oh.
Yeah, first they say, you know, we're going to eat your food. We're going to make art in your kitchen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make child protective services come and take your kids. We're going to make you look like asshole parents.
I know.
But by like whooping your kids' ass and making them look like you did it.
Yeah, I think they even fuck with you and have the SWAT team come in. What do they do that shit?
Oh, swatting?
Yeah, swatting.
Yeah, aliens are across the street in a spaceship.
Playing with their PlayStation, fucking with you. Oh, man, not again.
Yeah, they have people in hazmat suits coming in your house when they should be looking for them. Hey, look at it. They don't know we across the street. Yeah. But
flying around drunk.
Yeah, but it does get to a point where they become insidious and sinister.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
And that's where the movie, I hate to say it, co-host, but this is where the movie starts to fall apart for me.
Oh,
because
say it, please.
as they become more sinister, co-host, I'm not going to criticize. I'm going to give out some love right here.
All right.
White people are some of the bravest people on this planet. I can see why aliens want to come down and see them because they're so courageous, man. And I tell you why. Because when you have a security camera set all around your house and you see a shadowy alien in every fucking room, what does the father do? He just goes back to bed and says, honey, I think something's wrong.
Wake me up in the morning, and we'll investigate this even further. Yeah.
Something's crazy happening, but let's get a good night's sleep before we figure it out.
Don't worry. I'm sure this shit'll happen again, and we'll just get more evidence on tape, and we'll still ask the same fucking questions that go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. This is where people, we say it all the time, but this time I'm not making a joke. The white people syndrome of not leaving the house when something's wrong is the biggest. It is the biggest flaw in this movie. Because,
it is.
And because there's things that are happening in here. We've already mentioned it. The sculpture in the kitchen, the emptying the refrigerator, the marks on the bodies. The people are. I mean, Carrie Russell is a real estate agent. She's trying to sell a home. She's right on the brink of closing a deal. All of a sudden, she goes over to the window and just starts boom, hitting her head. Boom. She wakes up 6 hours later like it's a dream. Don't know what's happening. The father's walking outside with a nosebleed. He's blacking out.
Yeah.
But what happens when they come back in? They start blaming each other.
Blaming each other, going, okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I can tell you what. It ain't nothing supernatural, and it sure as hell ain't aliens.
Ain't no aliens.
And I'm like, come on, dude. You got a T-shirt full of your own fucking blood. You were drenched in blood, and yet you have all these occurrences happening. You have these strange things happening to your kids, to your wife. What else? You have birds. Flocks of birds dive kamikaze style into your house.
It looks like people across the street throwing dead birds.
Yeah, it looks like someone with a slingshot.
Those fucking aliens had slingshots.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. A barrage of birds just fucking fall dead in your house, and you're still going, there's something else going on here. I don't know. It could be that kid across the street.
And I'm not trying to ruin anything for you people because the movie moves so slow. We really aren't. You had to know some of these details to know just how silly this family is as they experience this situation. There's Carrie Russell's trying to convince her husband in the movie, Josh Helms, he's trying to convince him that this is aliens. He's like, after all this crazy shit, no, just like you said, no. But when he finally believes, one of their sons has marks all over his body. Right. Everybody thinks that there might be some form of child abuse. But they know that it's probably not each other. But what happens? The wife gets mad after all this proof. After all this proof that aliens are coming in and doing this strange shit to them, they bring the son home, and she looks at her husband and says, "Did you do this?
Yeah.
Did you do this to our son? Bitch, we just established there's aliens fucking with us.
You goddamn whore! You were just screaming at me the other day that I didn't believe you. Now I'm saying it is, and then you want to yell at me. What the fuck? I can't do nothing right.
I hate these people, man.
No, you easily hate them, and that's because it is the white people syndrome of just them being stupid. And the audience can't help but notice this because, the movie contradicts, what the characters are doing within the film as far as just pointing out all these things only to, all of a sudden forget what they told other characters before in the whole idea of convincing people something else is going on. And you, as an audience member, you're like, wait a minute. This is, they do this shit better in soap operas. This doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, and that is the frustrating thing. I mean, the biggest problem, though, is that the family itself. I mean, with a movie like this, the movie has to have the family convince you that something crazy is going on. They have to convince you that there's a logical explanation, something to make you just go, okay, I can relate to this family. They know something's going on. They're trying to do something, but they never do it with this family. The worst part of this film is that there's a moment in the movie where one of the little kids, the youngest kid, is out walking around in his underwear.
Yeah,
everyone's freaking out. And then you see the dad run out, grab the kid, go, what's going on? What's going on? And I was noticing, wow, why is the mother all the way back there at the door just wondering what are you doing out here? I was like, I'm sorry, but a mother would never act like that. In real life, a mother would freak the fuck out, run. They would all run to that little boy and go, what is going on? What happened? What is going on? They'd be freaking out. And just that little scene took me out of the movie. I'm like, I can't buy these as a real family.
That's the other thing. Little boy played by Caden Rocket. He's okay, but he spends most of the movie just staring at shit. The oldest son, Dakota, is played by actor Dakota Goyo. He's a moper.
Yeah,
like most 13-year-olds in these kind of movies. I hate you, I hate mom, I hate you, dad. You ruined my life. But regardless of how these kids react to things, which I don't think is very convincing the way they react to things either. If
Not
I was
at
a
all.
kid, every kid in these kind of movies, if I was 6-year-old and aliens were coming into my room, I wouldn't be coming out. This kid comes out saying the Sandman saw me again last night. I'd be waking up at 3 a.m. Mama, get up! There's a goddamn man in my room. Get up!
There's a black guy in the house. There's a black man in this house.
Especially a tall black ass
tall
thing.
black. Yeah.
There's a nigga in the house. Shit! He stole my toys.
Oh shit! I think it was Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
No.
Wesley Snipes lost some weight. Hey, Mama, Tyler Perry's in here.
Oh Jesus!
He's about to watch one of his movies.
No.
We gotta go. But man, I would never act like these kids in these movies. Every time there's a ghost coming to see a kid, I would be freaking the fuck out. Even if Casper came came in. You want to play? Get the fuck out of here, man. Now I don't want to play with your ghostly ass.
And that's another thing with the bad writing in this. The kids, you're absolutely right. Kids have wild imaginations. They go anywhere. If anybody should be convinced that there are fucking aliens or something going on, it should be these kids yelling and convincing their parents, look, this is what's going on. We've been visited. This shit is happening. It's real. And look at this. Raise up your shirts and go, look at all these goddamn tattoos of dicks I got on my chest.
You think at least a little kid would come up and say, Mama, a alien beat my fucking ass last night.
I know.
Took a belt to my ass. We gotta get the fuck out of here. But whenever they talk to the kid, Sam, what's wrong? It's nothing.
The kids are always catatonic in these types of movies. They always are. It's like they treat these kids like they're fucking dumb dogs.
Yeah. And
I don't get that. I don't buy into it, and I hate it.
And the other kid, that's the 13-year-old, man, that motherfucker's got crop circles on his stomach. You think that he would have brought this up to his parents at one point?
And what didn't get me, what I didn't understand is like, they show us what these like crop circles look like, where they're perfectly symmetrical and something like it's like, man, okay, no fucking parent did this. No tattoo artist did this.
Maybe an alien tattoo artist.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Came out, put some of that alien ink on his ass.
That drunk ass motherfucker. Yeah. Let's all get tattoos. Hey, let's give this kid a tattoo.
Yeah.
He's been partying with us all week. Come on, man. Let's get, But, and that's the other thing that just blows me away when they have adults, like, especially those in the medical profession that just can't look at this and go, okay, this wasn't done by a parent.
See, that's the thing, man. Uh-huh. One, you made a good point earlier. Mm-hmm. These parents, they do act like concerned parents, but I still am not convinced that they are as panicked as real parents would be.
Yeah.
I mean, no parent would react this lightly, and even compared to the situation, they're acting relatively light. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, with all the stuff that is happening with these people, implants. Mm-hmm. A system of a systematic series of occurrences that other people, these patterns have happened to other people.
Yeah.
There is substantial evidence here to prove that something is happening.
Yes.
That aliens are here.
Yeah.
This is not some hidden shit.
Especially when you're in such when a good like 90% of the movie is all about, just trying to discover what this is. I mean, in a brief scene, you have something go, this has happened to other people. Yet these people aren't happy with that answer. They're not convinced. They're still acting stupid. Like the dad is still like going, look, we can't tell anybody about this because this is all crazy. I don't understand it.
Well, I can understand because the movie sets up that kind of logic. Mm-hmm. But in real life, the government would be all over this shit.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. But I mean, it's just one of those mind-numbing things about this movie that it does follow a beat to a pattern which we've seen before in all these other movies that these guys have produced, which is Sinister, Paranormal, and Insidious.
Well, I thought you made a good point when you said that this is a supernatural movie with aliens in it because speaking of following patterns, Paranormal Activity, okay, it's not found footage, but we got the security cameras, we got the white people don't leave the house, and we got the expert.
We got the expert.
It's either a guy who's a priest or a guy who knows about aliens. It's the same. It's following the people. This is a supernatural movie with aliens.
It is. And even down to the last scene where it's like, and this is my biggest problem with all of these movies. That includes Sinister and Insidious at times where at the end, they just want to throw everything at the fucking wall, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, okay. Even if some of those movies had good setups, it's like you just blow your wad, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make the movie that much more interesting. It's just like, okay, this is what you come to expect. So we're just going to throw it all in your face. We're not going to make it interesting. We're not going to make it new. We're not going to have any kind of real logic to it. We're just going to throw it at you because you expect it, and at the end, we're going to throw something else at you to go, oh, this isn't over,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is fucking lazy.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's lazy.
They could move faster. I mean,
it couldn't move fast enough. That was the biggest problem with it is it's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring.
There's a large chunk of this movie that is just boring. I mean, you talk about pacing. Yeah, this movie's just pacing back and forth. I mean, this movie could be sped up, and I know what they're trying to do. They're taking it very slow because they want to gradually give you all this eerie evidence, and to the movie's credit, I will say they do make aliens kind of creepy in this. There's I'm making fun of that scene you walk into the bedroom, and they showed it on the trailer already, so it was no surprise. But if I saw it in the movie, I'd be like, whoa, shit, what is that? And I would say that the climax, even though throwing everything in there, there's a certain part of it where it's kind of tense. I mean, it actually seemed it was very spooky, but only for a little bit until you realize that the family's plan for handling this, again, makes no sense.
It made no sense.
And even within it making no sense, with a little bit, which I can't give away, a little bit of it did make sense. This family doesn't follow their own rules.
Oh, not at all.
They tell them exactly what to do to prevent the ultimate violation against them from these aliens, how to prevent that. They do it for a little bit, and then they do the dumbest thing to prevent that that one rule that would have saved them.
Yeah.
And really, I'm not ruining anything by saying save them. You're going to be surprised at what the ending is if you don't predict it.
It just makes you.
But they just don't follow the rules.
No, they don't. It's like, are they all suffering from fucking short-term memory loss? I mean, if maybe if they threw that in as far as what aliens can do to you, that would make sense. But they don't, and you can't help but watch it and go, this is ridiculous. This isn't making any sense. Why was it? They were just told this 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden they just forget everything.
Yeah, they forgot. Yeah,
and it's for the sake of spectacle, or having a climax.
That's what you
want to get into.
The movie.
And I honestly couldn't get into it. At the end of it, I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen, and it sucked because I'm like, this is the point where, wow, you better have this. You better have something really like just out of left field to make me interested in this ending, because right now you've been treading water. And you know what? I've had this Kool-Aid before. I've had this Kool-Aid. I mean, and you know what?
Alien Kool-Aid?
I had that alien Kool-Aid.
That green
And I'm like,
shit.
wait a minute. This tastes like grape Kool-Aid. And I'm like, I had that too, but here, really? Sorry, I don't care.
Even if it's alien, same old flavor.
Yeah, same old flavor. Same old
flavor. Different day, same flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Different day, same old flavor. And I just didn't care.
Yeah,
I wanted to care. I definitely think that in better hands, like this was directed by the guy who did Legion and Priest. And watching those films,
the guy's name is Scott Stewart.
Scott Stewart.
Who, by the way, looks like an alien himself.
Does he?
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe it was about his fucking family.
Look at that picture right there.
What? Mom, the director from Priest and that goddamn other shitty ass movie Legion is in my room.
That motherfucker looks like the director from Venus.
I think he had abducted Paul Bettany for a while. Threw his ass in all his movies. And Paul Bettany finally woke up and ran the fuck out of that shit.
Yeah, every movie he's made, he's abducted actors to be in it.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, the thing about with that director specifically is that I've always enjoyed his ideas for his movies that he makes, except just his execution is always poor. His endings are always weak. And, if I didn't know that he honestly directed this, I would have just said, you know what, this director, he's a hired director. There's nothing special about him. There's nothing interesting about this.
Let me ask you a question. Do you remember a series from the mid-90s called Dark Skies?
Dark Skies. Was it an anthology? Anthology show?
I think it was a show that let me look it up here, because it was a show that came on in the mid-90s.
Uh-huh.
And it was because the X-Files became so popular that this show was greenlit. And it was on the Sci-Fi Channel at one point.
Okay.
I can't remember what the original network that it was on.
Okay,
but
well,
I'm just wondering if this is if this show is based on that. I'm sorry, if this movie is based on that show.
Okay, well, maybe you're talking about because I was going to bring this up. I was going to tell people, instead of watching this, you should go to YouTube and check out this made-for-TV movie. It was called Alien Abduction Incident in Lake County, where it was about the abduction of a family during Thanksgiving, and it's all like found footage, pretty much.
Really?
And it's real creepy. Yeah, it came out around the time the X-Files was on, but it was on UPN. It was one of those movies that was on UPN. It aired, and I think it caused a lot of controversy because when people saw it on TV, they weren't aware that it was a fictionalized,
So it was
movie.
like the Blair Witch of aliens.
Yeah, it was pretty much the Blair Witch of TV when it came out. A lot of people really thought that this actually happened.
Really?
Yeah, and when you watch it, I mean, you watch it now, it looks dated, but it's still effective. It's one of those that, you watch it, on your PC. That's the only way you can watch it on your computer. And it drives home that sense of creepiness, especially the fact that they managed to do it knowing that there's an entire family in this house that is getting terrorized by these aliens. But I mean, there's a scene where an older son goes into his room and he's walking up with his camera. And the camera's moving around. All the lights are out, because the power's been shut off. The camera's moving around, and you see something in the corner. And it's fucking freaky as hell. And the fact that they managed to do something like this and make it effective, blew me away. It raised the bar for me as far as alien abduction movies, how they should be done.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever done this. Watching this movie, it did remind me of that. But once again, it's too bad you guys didn't follow that template of what they did. Instead, you went for the lazy route with the whole haunted house movie thing.
Yeah. And it's funny because at the end of the movie, when the family does this dumb thing, you're exactly right. They do it because they make that it's the script or the director making this dumb decision. And it's not the family because they're doing it to add
tension.
To add tension. Yeah, it's a dumb decision just so they could add more tension. But I was going to ask you, how would you compare this to Signs? Remember the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Oh, you know what? I like Signs. I mean, there's a part of me that likes it. Sure, it has its flaws, but there's parts of it that are pretty effective. As far as it being a family unit, I mean,
because a lot of people would say that some of the logic in that movie is dumb, and the pacing of it is kind of the same.
At least with that, they were trying. They were really trying, and I can tell. And what kind of won me over was the acting with that. Yeah. Everyone felt like there's a threat. This, not so much. This, there were just too many stupid decisions going on throughout the entire movie that it just threw me out of it.
Okay, well,
what do you think? I mean,
no, I'm not a big fan of Signs. I think Signs is a downright dumb movie, but I would say that there's a subplot in there that's stronger than this movie, and the acting is a little bit better.
Yeah.
And some of the decisions say what you will about the dumb logic behind the aliens.
Right.
And it is dumb. Everybody always is talking about why would aliens
is dumb, yeah.
Where their biggest weakness is water. Why would they come down to a planet that's 70% water with no protection?
Yeah.
How come they got hands? How come they can open doors?
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, it's
despite all that though,
I think it's I think it's a better directed movie than what we have here.
It sets up some tense scenes. I will give it that credit.
So something like this, there is some imagery in here which really kind of scared me, but brief.
Yeah.
Very brief. So something like this would be, I think it would almost be more effective watching this at home in the dark. You can turn away, you can get distracted, but when the real creepy stuff comes up and you're here and you're watching it at home alone with all the lights out, I think it'll get you for a brief moment, but that doesn't go anything beyond a rental though.
Yeah, and I really wish I could be with you because I agree with everything you said, but being such a such a fan of the whole alien abduction drama, because there's movies like Communion. It's not the greatest movies, but there's some parts that are kind of effective. Fire in the Sky.
The movie Communion and Fire.
The movie Communion. Christopher Walken was in that. Even though I think the book is a lot better, but Fire in the Sky, that's another great alien abduction movie.
I remember that.
Yeah, but with this, like I said,
that's when those aliens raped the shit out of that guy, didn't they? Stuck that thing all up in his ass.
That was some scary shit. Yeah. Aliens hanging out in your bedroom, ready to fuck you. That's scary. But with this though, I mean, it bothers me so much that it just became it was another cookie cutter of the other haunted house movies we've seen before, and I can't give it credit for that just because they want to go, instead of ghosts, let's do it with aliens, and it just seems more of like a studio decision than a creative one, and I can't get behind that. So I mean, I'm gonna give it some old bullshit.
I knew it.
I know.
Hey, look, I can't blame you, man, because there's a lot of dumb shit in this movie.
There's a lot of it. And like I said, seeing something like that incident in Lake County, where you have something like that, where I'm shocked somebody hasn't tried to remake that, and have it be effective. But the fact that they went the laser route, I can't forgive it. So
All right,
that's
well,
it. I'm
looks
done.
like you don't need an alien abduction to co-host this. This movie stuck its finger right up your ass.
Oh, right. Oh, and it got nice and wet, too.
Yeah, went digging for gold up there, didn't it?
I can at least give it credit for that. Yeah.
Sooner or later, when they're ready, they will take your family.